been your trusted experts for wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. We change lives and inspire true wealth, one person, one family, one business at a time. Shaw & Associates is a wealth management investment firm that specializes in taxes, serving as a fiduciary, putting your interests first. You can find more information or schedule an appointment by calling 530-674-1150 or on the web at shawassociatesinc.com. Shaw & Associates is proud to support community radio.
And my 8 o'clock interview, I thought was going to be with Sutter County Sheriff's Department, but it turns out it's with Sutter County Sheriff's Department and Yuba City PD. Come on, this is great. Who gets to do this? And then, of course, I had a false start because I had to play some song. I don't know, right? But we're on now. So, gentlemen, how are you this morning?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Yeah. I bet you guys couldn't wait when they said, hey, could you go on the radio? I know how law enforcement loves to come on here. They just get excited about it.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to start with you, Commander. Yeah, when did Commander happen? You were LT, I think, last time I was there. Mm-hmm. And Brent Slade, anyway, go ahead.
So, yeah, it happened just over a year ago. There were some retirements that happened, like we talked earlier, and got promoted last year.
Did you expect it?
No, actually I didn't. Tough competition, and I ended up getting named the permanent commander, and then later on down the road, my brother got promoted to commander as well.
Yeah, you guys are something. There's been a lot of families like that at the PD. You know, somebody gets in, then their brother gets in, and you know, they don't allow you guys in the car at the same time. No, I'm sure they don't. You know, it's like you're brothers, right? Nobody's fooled by that. You're brothers, right? And so, yeah, that's really good. Yeah. So it's like the changes have occurred, and in law enforcement, we have that. That's not abnormal. New people come in, older people leave, and then sometimes people leave because they go do something else, right? But Yuba City PD has been relatively stable because some of you guys that I knew before are still there. And so, right?
Yeah, we're coming upon the time now where there's a lot of newer folks, officers, non-sworn personnel that work for us more so than the older regime, if you want to say. Yeah,
those old guys. Oh, wait a minute. And then we have Captain Jason Piazza. Piazza, you know, it's like, where were you born, Mr. Piazza?
That's right. I was born in San Jose, but I did the DNA genealogy, and turns out I am like 97% Italian. So it is I have a very traditional family in San Jose, but I'm very Americanized and third generation. So.
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn. My dad was the only one of 13 kids born in this country. And it's like people say, do you speak Italian? My dad was a World War II veteran. He said, we're not speaking Italian, we live in America, right? Yep. My grandmother, she would not speak English. That was it. I'm Italian, that's it, right? You know?
Right.
Great history with the Italian community and being able to connect. And it's almost like a lot of Italians I know, they ended up in law enforcement. You know, none of my family, they ended up on the other side of law enforcement.
It was really neat to go to New York and see family names on the Ellis Island monuments. And, you know.
Isn't that crazy? You think, gosh, man, I tell people they don't believe I'm an immigrant because I'm like, you know, what'd you say, third generation, my dad, so I'd be second generation here. And it's like, I don't even think about it. You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed of my culture. Come on. I make some serious spaghetti sauce, or as they say back east, gravy. I got my great-grandmother's recipe, you know, so it's like, so how did you end up in law enforcement?
I've been in law enforcement for about 31 years.
Wow.
Started in 95 as a reserve, and the reason I'm in law enforcement is my father-in-law was in law enforcement. He was a retired chief. He has since passed on. But then my brother-in-law got into law enforcement, so hearing those family dinner conversations about the day, man, that's exciting. So
Yeah.
he's like, well, why don't you be a reserve? And so that's kind of how I got my foot in the door.
My son was a reserve officer, actually with Yuba City PD, and so it was the day he was getting sworn in, right? And so he never ever said this to me ever. And he said, they asked him why he did, and he said, well, my dad was a cop. I was in the military, right? Never thought that was affecting him at all. You just don't think about it. He said that, then of course, I'm too much a man to weep, but the allergies started to get to me a little bit. It's like, but yeah, relatives, there is something about it that it ends up in the family. It's very common with military and very common with law enforcement, that it does that. And so you gentlemen, did you come on to talk about anything in particular, or do I get to just ask you whatever?
Ask away.
Oh my gosh. You sure you want to do that? All right, so I want to talk a little bit because I love that in our area we have some things like a juvenile hall that is where both counties get involved. We have some things where it's like that, right? And so you guys have multi-agency things. So I'd like to know, how does that happen? Like, what event could occur where both the Sheriff's Department and the PD would connect specifically? Are there areas where it's just, we just call each other and go, hey, we're doing this, could you show up? How does that work?
Well, it could be anything, Fish. Every year, as you know, we have the Sikh Festival in town.
Yeah.
And pretty much, I think we get a month off, maybe, too. And then we're communicating with each other and meeting at least monthly to try to prepare for that and work with the Sikh community to make that happen. So that happens partly in the county and partly in the city. It could be as minor as a traffic issue. Recently, we had a lot of complaints over in our Beat 7 area, and that's an area where the city and the county kind of share services per an agreement. So we had both representations at a community meeting to discuss that. If there's any kind of major incident that happens, we work together, we go to trainings together. Complaints come in, maybe it doesn't pertain, maybe the complaint happened in the city, but it came to us, so then I'll forward it on. So those are some examples.
Yeah.
Anything else, Brent?
I think we rely heavily on one another, even for investigations. If we get busy in the city and we can't get calls, we rely on the Sutter County to come and handle the same, our calls in the city, vice versa as well. Then on the back end, with Net 5 disbanding, we've collaborated together to work on a joint effort between the two of us as just a smaller task force that we're hoping to get approved and go through council and board of supervisors within the next few months. So
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we don't want to give that up.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to give that up, right?
We're very excited about that.
So I was really kind of going down a little bit of a road there, and what I was going to want you to talk about was the opportunities to actually train together. To like say it was going to be a shooter incident or something, and so you guys train. Do you ever do any of those major kind of trainings or evacuation? Because that was a big deal after the Orville Dam thing, was like trying to help people get out of the city and that, and law enforcement gets stuck right in the middle of stuff. I don't care what it is, it's like, call them, right? It's like, my fries weren't that hot at McDonald's, get law enforcement over here, And so do you guys have opportunities to train for major events together?
Sure. We, our Office of Emergency Management Department will put on different trainings, which we'll both attend, both departments. We have some tabletop exercises sometimes that we participate in together. In fact, not too long ago, we were over in Oroville. I think Sergeant Krause was there. And, they'll create some sort of mock incident, and then how does everybody respond, which agency has responsibility for what, and then our officers attend a lot of the same trainings as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that it's so important that because in an emergency you will do what you're trained for. You will automatically go to your training. It's just
Absolutely.
It's a kind of an unwritten thing. This is what I do, right? And so I just wondered how often that was able to happen. I really appreciate the law enforcement in our area, all the agencies, because they, like I was saying, off air, sometimes they'll have worked in both sides of the river, different entities, right? And so you have people that have a knowledge already of how the other one functions, right? And that's just got to be a benefit, when you look at it and say, oh, yeah, we know how to do that, right? We can do that. So what will happen if you get this opportunity? It's not a replacement of Net 5, but in a way it is. How will that work? The same kind of plan?
So yeah, in a nutshell, it's going to be comprised of the Yuba City Police Department, Sutter County Sheriff's Department, Sutter County DA's office, and potentially the Sutter County Probation Department. So there's going to be all Sutter County law enforcement agencies involved in this, but it's not going to be just concentrating on drugs. It's going to be concentrating on other felonious events, assaults, homicides, felony crimes. Like we all know that back in the day there was a lot of thefts with converters and a lot of,
that for a while that was like
it was a big thing.
It was a big thing. Fortunately I had a junker, nobody wanted it, so
but we're going to rely on each other's resources to combat these crimes, whether it's in the city or whether it's in the county. Both agencies or all four agencies will partake in those investigations.
Does that seem to be a huge issue that over time, kind of looking at how we communicate back and forth, right, to make sure information is shared? I know nationally that was a big deal, right? But locally, you guys basically talk all the time, right?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of open communication. I mean, when you go from the chief and the sheriff down, you have every rank that talks to other ranks. Jason and I work closely together. We've worked really closely together with this SIU task force. Chief and sheriff talk all the time. I mean, lieutenants down, they're constantly communicating with one another.
And so, how long have you known Jason?
I've known Jason for probably the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean, ever since he came over to the sheriff's department, I've known Jason. We've really gotten close over the last couple of years, especially with this project that we're working together on.
So you realize that the longer you get to know him, pretty soon he's going to insist that you change your name to Sladini. Isn't that right, Jason? He's going to be part of it. He's going to have to get a little bit of a name change to fit in, right?
Well, Fish, let me just first of all give a shout out to Yuba City. So Chief Runyon offered up the police department to house this unit. They had some extra office space. So our two detectives will be taking up some office space over there. So, Brent and I were tasked with getting this unit off and running.
Oh.
The undersheriff and I believe Kim Slade were in charge of the disbanding of Net 5. Net 5 was kind of modeled after the old B&E, Bureau of Narcotics Enforcement at the state level, that model. And this is going to be a little more relaxed, open communication. We're going to get our, there'll be a sergeant from Yuba City overseeing the day-to-day operations, but we're also going to keep the lieutenants at each department informed so that our sheriff and chief know what's going on.
Yeah,
and
that's critical.
And we'll have the freedom to pull people back if we need to work on specific issues. Maybe it's ag theft in the county, or if detectives need some extra help. So we're really going to focus on problem solving where those hot spots are.
I'm a great advocate of we don't have enough law enforcement. And I know some people would disagree with me, and I really don't care. They can, but it's a lot to ask of our law enforcement agencies on both sides of the river to try to cover everything when you only have so many people. But every time I've got the sheriff's department on, I crack up. I go, how many miles do you guys cover? It's like, I agree, there might not be as dense of a population, but it still takes a long time to get there, right? You know? And I've always felt that way, that we really, anyway, my point is this. It would be great if we could get, 10 more officers, 10 more deputies. That would be really good. That would help tremendously, and you could do a much better job. But in the meantime, you guys have very cleverly said, well, since we don't have that, let's work together. Right? And let's see what we do have. What can we work together with? And I just commend you, gentlemen, for that, whoever idea it was. Right?
Sure.
And so kudos to them. And if it's the people that are at the top, then thank you. If it was you guys, thank you. Because I really think it's that proverbial not working harder, working smarter. How can we keep the city and county safe with the resources we have? And that falls on you guys' shoulders, So I don't envy your position. I won't be looking for a job there. You guys might, however, decide you want to be DJs when you retire.
That's a thought.
Play whatever
Brent
music.
Show, I can see it.
Whatever music you like, right? You can play it, right? So as you look forward, because things seem to be moving rather rapidly, right? It seems like we're, is there anything coming down the pike in terms of advancement, right? Ideas you have besides this that is going to increase your ability to serve and protect? Are there things that are kind of in the works, maybe not there yet, but you're like, hey, maybe we're getting new equipment, or we're going to work towards that end?
Fish, that technology is always advancing. Right?
Yeah.
So the problem with the technology is there's always a heavy price tag on the technology, right? So there's a lot of stuff out there that we'd love to grab, things that make the officer's life easier, report writing, AI stuff that makes their life a little bit easier, makes their job a little bit quicker, but the price tags on them are there, right? And, during this time, this, I guess, unsure on the budgets, it's hard to try to go out and get these things when we don't know from one day to the next right now what the state of this economy is going to do.
I remember when they were first showing me around when I had become a chaplain, and I went in this room, and there is like stacks of forms. And a couple guys sitting down at computers, and I'm like, what is this? Well, this is for all the reports they got to write. When I was in the military, we had a 1569, incident, accident. One form, and then it went on the blotter. And I said, these guys are going to be in here for hours. So they don't get off work. They have to go do that. So, man, I can appreciate what you're saying. If there's a way to reduce that, that would be amazing.
And obviously, too, you reduce report writing time, that's more time they spend on the road.
Yeah.
And that's more time they're out there serving their community.
Yeah.
A lot of things have gone paperless. More and more we're trying to do that. It takes up less space. It's more time efficient. We're working toward electronic sites. So that would be like an iPad in the car with a printer, and they would print out a ticket. The courts aren't set up to receive electronic sites yet, so we still would have to print them out and bring them in. But we're right now we're working on a new software called Crossroads for our traffic accident investigations. We're going to be buying new tasers, which are very expensive. I mean, you could buy like 4 guns for the price of 1 taser. They're so expensive.
So I have to ask this because I've seen video using the tasers, and the taser goes out away from you. You don't have to touch them.
Correct.
Right? All right. So, okay, you guys got to promise you're not going to laugh at me, okay? You didn't say yes. You didn't look at me like all right. So after that thing goes out, what happens then? The gun's done, or does it?
No, so,
go back in there. I mean,
so you have two styles of tasers. Ones that have a lead that's attached to the prongs.
Yeah.
That go in and attach to somebody, and there's these long wires that follow. Well, the new tasers, which I think Jason's is probably looking at, they're wireless. So there's a communication that it keeps in between the probe and the gun, or the taser, that communicates with it, and there's no wires that go with it. So we recently just picked up a few of those, and they're great. Luckily, we haven't had to use them yet, but compared to the old ones, they're more effective, and you can do multiple deployments off of one. So if, for instance, if you have one guy here and one guy here, you can deploy here and here at the same time, whereas with the old style, you're one and done, and then you have to change a cartridge and go to the next guy.
Okay, you answered my question. So that is a cartridge.
Correct.
So the gun doesn't change, but the cartridge does.
Yes.
And so one has a wire, one would be wireless, but you could have actually multiple cartridges?
Yeah, so
And
they're
that's how
actually,
they get-
they're probes that go into one cartridge. You just load the probes into one cartridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hope you never have to use it on me, but
But again, with the advancements comes the price tag.
gosh, I know, it's like, yeah. I don't care what anybody says. I would love to see the best equipment possible. I remember when the PD changed to those little Ford Explorers, whatever they are, and it's like, what happened to those big nice cars? Anybody miss those?
I do.
Yeah, I've talked to some. They said, "Hey, wait a minute," because you're not a small guy. You get in, like, this was not designed for. It's like that's a big deal, right? And it's like, could I have one of those Crown Vics? Because I'll drive that all day long, right? But it is the change. It's like things, expense, whatever, efficiency. Somebody did tell me, and I wish I could remember what it actually cost besides the cost of the vehicle to equip a vehicle to be used for law enforcement, and it was ridiculous.
It is.
It was. It's like we don't think about that. It's like, can I get a discount on that? But man,
Expensive. Prices are going up all the time, just like everybody else. We're having to become creative on how we can afford things. A lot of grants aren't getting granted now, so we've had to dip into some of our reserve funds. Staffing is always an issue, trying to hire people. In our county, we're struggling a bit, I think, in the city and the county as far as keeping up with the wages of other folks. So we constantly have people leaving, and then, of course, we're having to hire all the time. So it's been challenging. We're making it work right now, and fortunately we've had some monies. We can buy some additional things, update these tasers to give people tools. So we're making it work, and so those are some advancements.
well, that's kind of where I was going with that line of questioning with the stuff and how it works is because. Sometimes a tax measure will come up, or sometimes there'll be a way that more income can come in. And I remember, and I can't remember who came on the air and they talked about it, but they were explaining to me that I think it was a 1 cent sales tax, or was it 1%? 1 cent, right?
1 cent.
And so, I'm like anybody else. It's like I don't want to pay more taxes, but I was absolutely shocked when they said almost all the sales tax goes to Sacramento. Very little stays here. But if that 1 cent came in, it would be kept here. And I thought, okay, what's mine? $27.50 a year, right? I mean, it's like we need more income. It's just that simple. And you're right, to pay for officers, to pay for equipment. And I think it's important. And there comes a time when you want to work together with law enforcement and say, how can we help? And I know that you guys have programs where you even pay for kids to go through the academy, right? And then they can join law enforcement, which honestly I think is incredible. You guys have people that come in, I forget, they don't call them cadets, do they? What do they?
They do.
cadets, where they can come in, get that experience, find out and move towards it. You have reserve officers, so somebody's not necessarily full-time. There's incredible opportunities available at both the sheriff and Yuba City PD, and on both sides of the river. But financing that is the issue, and I appreciate what you said about some of the grants aren't available. Right, the grants that we had before, I always get, when I get the things from Yuba City PD, it'll say, like for traffic, it'll say this was supplied by a grant, and it means, okay, so if that grant was there, you guys couldn't do that? And that's what really, for me, it's like, that's the part that troubles me. And I don't work there, right, but I get it, right? And so I want to encourage everybody, send your donation. Almost, right? It's like you guys would be like the fire department with the boot.
Yeah.
You guys will be out there with something, right? But I just think, there comes that side where you have to honestly look at your community. It's your community. These are the men and women that keep you safe. What can you do, right? And I just think we're coming to that more and more, where it's a shared responsibility.
Well, let me just say, it's no secret that our county is very supportive. Yuba and Sutter counties are very supportive of law enforcement.
Yeah.
We sure appreciate that. It's very common that we'll get accolades at the gas station, or somebody will come up at a restaurant and thank you for what you do, and that's very appreciated. And this week is Police Week.
Yeah.
Law Enforcement Appreciation Week. I believe President JFK made it law in I think somewhere around 1962, but that's what we're celebrating. And this afternoon, the Sheriff's Office admin is going to be doing a barbecue for our staff.
What time is it? For your staff.
To show that we appreciate them.
Yeah.
So if you see them out and about this week, make sure to say thank you for your service. I know that they would appreciate it. They work a lot of long hours, and there's
Jason, I tell people all the time, when you see an officer, wave, right? Just wave. If they don't wave back, it's because it's situational awareness. They are constantly, do a ride along, and you'll see it. They are focused on everything around them. So maybe they didn't see you, but keep doing it. Keep letting them know you appreciate them. Wave every time you see a patrol vehicle.
And make sure you guys come out and show your support tomorrow for the Peace Officer Memorial, 10 o'clock at the Yuba City Police Department. It's a great way to show your support to the men and women that have made the ultimate sacrifice in this job.
Yeah.
And Karen Crone, our executive assistant, has done an excellent job on organizing this event. So we're looking forward to it. There may be a little special surprise in there tomorrow. So.
He's not letting the cat out of the bag, but that's really good. Well, gentlemen, I can't say thanks enough for what you do. I'm glad that, Jason, you said what you did. Our communities love our law enforcement, and I hear and see it all the time. Here at 93Q, I will do anything I can do, and I've told them, look, whatever we got to do to let people know what's going on and how we can be supportive, we're going to do that.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. I started saying any last words right now. What? Anything I missed? Not last words. Anything I missed?
No, sir.
I think you got it.
Thank you for having us on.
Absolutely.
It's time to get back to more classic rock, it sounds like.
That's what I'm thinking.
This community interview is made possible by Shaw and Associates.